Hey guys, what's up? It's Dawn Skelly Dunn. Today was supposed to be a movie review, but I fell asleep for a really long time. Um, so I'm just gonna tell you a story. This is um, I really haven't ever named him. Name him. What should I name him? He is a moose, and because musketeers are my favorite animal, and he's a skeleton because he likes being dead, and he is a Twenty Pilot fan sometimes on a good day. But today I'm just gonna piggyback off of something that we talked about yesterday, which after you get your refreshment and you maybe wake up your cardboard cutout, unless they're still asleep, it's still nap time. That's okay. And let's go. I brushed my teeth a while ago, before I napped. I'm so tired that I got dressed for this. Like, I put a different shirt on, and I put cologne on, because I guess I thought I was going somewhere. So I do smell very nice. It's Dior. It's the Johnny Depp. He's the guy for the ad. So I guess I smell like Johnny Depp. And there are worse things to smell, you know? Like, at least I smell like a sweaty pirate and not like a not sweaty pirate. There was this one time where I had a sleepover. And this is how bad of a person I am. Is that me and this other girl, we convinced my entire sleepover, like pre-haunting, that my house is haunted. This is how to convince your 12-year-old friends that your house is haunted. The wiki how. The skelly how. So, I had 8 people in my graduating class in middle school. 8. That is less than 2 hands. It is 8 people. Or 8 people. And so 6 of them showed up for my sleepover. And I was kind of mad. 6 out of 8 ain't bad. That's some pretty good odds, Katniss. I would win the Hunger Games if I only had to fight 6 people. I would win. I wouldn't fight them. I'd let them fight themselves and just like go be like whittling with my bow. I'd whittle, and then I would pretend like I like whittled this cute little thing for the last person alive, and then give it to them, and they'd be really excited because like who doesn't want something that was whittled in the middle of the woods? And then I would I guess take them out. Maybe I'd give it to them near like a cliff, and while they're really excited, I'll like go in for the hug and I'll push them off. I just won the Hunger Games. Okay, ignoring that. So it got dark, and we're all sitting in my living area. And so how my house works is that like the middle floor is all open. What's like you can go from one room to the next in like a circle. So we're all sitting there playing a exciting game of Mad Libs. And if you don't know what Mad Libs is, it's where like you fill in the blank of like adjectives or nouns or verbs. But we used to change it up because we thought we were funny. So it'd be like Amy and Patricia were Jasoning to the department store, or Fruit and Patricia were running away from the shoelace. Like stuff like that. Dumb things. You just mix up. We thought we were hilarious. This was comedy gold, but it still is. Laugh. We have these pictures of like a great grandfather and mother and cousins I've never met and whatever. And some of them are black and white. Some of them are like really old. So my one friend out of these 6, we'll call him Harold. That was a normal name, Harold. Okay, he goes walking over and he's like, "Who's this?" "Oh, that's my great grandmother in Venezuela." Yeah, Venezuela. And I'm like, you know how okay I am at telling stories. I'm like, she died. She was murdered. And then I was just like, the games have begun. Haha. So he like comes over and they start gathering around my other friends as I start spinning this completely made up horror story. Harold's here, and then my other friend, Yankee Candle. So So she auditioned for this big film, right? And it was super big in Europe and all the other places that I could not name, like Chile. It was really big in Chile, in Prague, and like places that 12-year-olds would never ever even think of being able to like Google or whatever, because you couldn't like imagine someone trying to Google, okay, Dylan Skelly Dunn's great 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 relative, Aunt Venezuela in Prague. I wonder what would happen. Probably nothing, unless she really did exist and I'm psychic. Her and her boyfriend were at this fancy restaurant, right, all dolled up, and she gets a call that all her horses had run away. So she's hysterical, she's crying, and she's running home in her fancy limo with her cash to wipe up her tears. And she gets home, and all her horses are gone, except for one. This little mule, this little donkey. Her Donkey Kong is just the only one left. And because the gate had been tampered with, so it turned out to be this whole big mystery, like Clue. And they had no suspects, because who would steal horses? Who would steal horses? Okay, so they're all believing this, and I'm like, ha ha ha, this is so ingenious. So then I just tell them, I'm like, they found out it was her boyfriend, because they had the DNA, and God knows where they got the DNA from back in like the 1700s when she was apparently a movie star, but I still spun it. And then one night before the police had come in to arrest him, he took her and the mule out on a romantic getaway. But it wasn't romantic, because he took the mule, said yeehaw, and just dove him right off the cliff with the picnic basket and all. Food, mule, aunt, boy. Into the ocean. The only thing that survived that fall was her sandwich and the mule. And now we can't talk about mules or sandwiches in my house. And they were like, oh my God, she was murdered. And I'm like, yeah. And guess what? She still haunts this very house today. Like, if you really want to see her, you go in the mirror. And Yankee Candle was about to crap herself. You go in the mirror and you say, mule, sandwich, horses, 3 times in a row, and she appears. And so they're all like daring each other to do it, and I'm like, I'm like, do it. Because I had a plan. And see, me and this other girl, I just wanted to call her Breadstick. We're calling her Breadstick. Who cares? Me and this other girl, Breadstick, we like make eye contact, and I know she knows that I'm not telling the truth. So she like raises her eyebrows, and I'm like, are you as devilish as I am? And she's like, yeah. So she goes in the other room, and she starts slowly like, oh, like moaning, like, oh, and I'm like, oh, who said mule, sandwich, breadstick? And I'm like whispering, and I'm like, who said that? And Harold raises his hand, and he's like, I said it in the TV's reflection. And I'm like, no. So I'm like freaking out, because I know there's no way we can protect us from this ghost. A ring of salt does not protect you. Ha ha ha. So she like starts, and I'm like, where's Breadstick? Did she get her? And then they're like, why would she take her? And I'm like, oh, because once a night, every single year, whoever I invite over gets taken as a sacrifice to keep her mule alive. So Breadstick comes back in, and she's like, I saw something. And I'm like, oh no. Oh no, you did not. No, you didn't. No, 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 no. And then she's like, yeah, it was in the other room. It was a shadow. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going in there. So then Harold, he takes one for the team, and he's like, I'll go check it out. And he gets like this flashlight, and so he walks in the other room, and he comes running back, and he's like, I saw something. I saw something. So Breadstick, she's like, no way, me too. And so Yankee Candle goes in with them, and I'm like, oh my God, are they really seeing something? Oh my God, I just conjured a ghost. I'm like freaking the frick out. I'm like, I don't know how to perform an exorcism. And then they're like, just go in there. Just go in, go look. And I'm like, oh, no, see, this is my story. I change it. She did not die. She was happy, and she died a peaceful death at like a very late age. She could still be alive. That would be better. So they're like, just go in, just go check. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. So I do. I take the flashlight, and I'm like freaking out, and I'm like, Going in there and I'm like, hello, and I'm not saying the 3-word chant in my head, and I'm like, hello, is anyone there? And I do the typical ghost thing, like, tap 3 times to let me know if that you're a gay ghost, and then I'm like, oh my god, so I freaking scream, I run out of there, I run, and I like run up to my parents, and I'm like, Mom, our great 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 relative Venezuela is coming to kill me. We're going to bed, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then I start hearing these sounds, and I'm like, what is that? And then I do start hearing like a low moaning, like constant tapping, and I'm like, what the heck is that? So like I get up, and all my friends are gone. They're not in their sleeping bags, they're not on the couch, and I'm like, what happened? And then I hear like a oh. So I grab that flashlight, and I go back, and I follow the moaning. And it goes back to the living room, and I'm like, hello? And then all my friends freaking jump out and scare me. Because I got rickrolled at the age of 12 because of my horrible storytelling. They scared the bejesus out of me. I peed a little. And I screamed. Like, high pitch. Screamed. And then it was like... But... So moral of the story is don't rickroll your friends. And don't tell really crappy stories. Because I do that. Just stick to normal Mad Libs. So have you ever played a prank on your friends? And what should I name this little dude? I haven't decided. I need help. SOS. And please tell me what movie to review because I'm not reviewing the Bee Movie. Please stop. I can't watch it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Whoops.